This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. The Knicks tonight take on the Houston Rockets at 8 p.m., and it's in Houston. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a big one for the New York Knicks. They need this win tonight. They cannot underestimate the Houston Rockets. That's without a doubt. They just can't do it, because if they do, we'll be leaving Houston upset that we lost this one, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the Knicks beat the Rockets the last time they played. At that point in time, the Rockets won like a 13, 14 game losing streak. And the Knicks were beginning to slide. They've slid now. They're no longer beginning to slide. The Knicks have slid. So they've got to get this win tonight. It's very, very important for the Knicks to pull this one out. And it's getting more difficult by the day, ladies and gentlemen, because throughout the NBA, players are unable to play due to health and safety protocol. And we lost another Knick due to health and safety protocol. Let's take a look at the injury report. For the Houston Rockets, Jalen Green, he's out due to a left hamstring strain. Daniel House Jr., he's out, left ankle sprain. Dyson Nix, he's in the G League, so we don't have to worry about him. Kevin Porter Jr., out, a left thigh contusion. Christian Wood, he's questionable for tonight with left knee tendonitis. We'll see if he ends up playing. As of right now, as of 1:30, he was questionable. For the New York Knicks, R.J. Barrett, he's out due to health and safety protocols. Quentin Grimes, he's out due to health and safety protocols. Kevin Knox is out due to health and safety protocols. Jericho Sims, he's on G League assignment. Luka, G League. And of course, Obi Toppin is out due to health and safety protocols. So you have one starter, one bench rotational piece in Obi Toppin, and then you got two guys in Quentin Grimes and Kevin Knox, who Quentin Grimes in his last game dropped 27 points because he was filling in for R.J. Barrett. And Kevin Knox, who's averaged, he scored 27 points over his last 2 games. He's averaging 13 and a half points over his last 2 games. Well, Jericho Sims is not out too, Karen. They just have him on here on the injury report as a G League assignment. He'll probably be with the team, or I don't know if he'll be playing with the G League or if he'll be with the team, but they have him here on the official NBA injury report. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're down a significant number of, at least 2 rotational players and then 2 guys who've been playing well for the Knicks over the last couple of games. It remains to be seen as to whether or not, this is going to be an issue for the New York Knicks. Seems like everything is an issue for the New York Knicks this season. Last year, everything went right. Now, it seems like everything is going wrong. It's hard to say what's going to happen, but that is the injury report as of 1:30. If we get any other details, of course, we'll let you know throughout the show. Taking a look at your projected starting lineups for the New York Knicks, you got Derrick Rose at point guard, Evan Fournier at shooting guard, Alec Burks at small forward, Julius Randle at power forward, and Nerlens Noel at the center spot. For the Houston Rockets, you got DJ Augustine at the point guard spot, Armani Brooks at shooting guard, Garrison Matthews at small forward, Jason Tate at power forward, and Daniel Tice at center. Now, the weird thing with the Houston Rockets is that they are super duper small. Super small. I mean, Jason Tate is 6'4", and they have him listed as playing the power forward spot because Christian Woods is questionable. Normally, he would be playing that power forward spot, and so it would give them a little bit more height. Tonight, he's questionable, so you got Jason Tate there. Super small. And this could bother the New York Knicks. It could bother Julius Randle. Garrison Matthews is 6'5". I think Armani Brooks is 6'4", 6'5". DJ Augustine, he's small. So the Houston Rockets are playing a very small lineup, and, it may force the Knicks to have to match that lineup. When you look at the names that's on the Houston Rockets roster, at least tonight in this starting lineup, nothing scares you. Nothing scares you, but they've been playing good basketball, though. So their lineup may not scare you, but their team should scare you at least a little bit because they've been playing well. They've been playing well. I think they've won 7 of their last 10 games, the Houston Rockets. Remember, earlier in the season when the Knicks and the Rockets played, the Rockets won like a 13-14 game losing streak. And after the Knicks beat them, they started to win basketball games. And they went on a serious winning streak. They're 9-19 on the season. As I said, they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. This is not a game that the New York Knicks can take for granted. The Knicks can't take any game for granted. I mean, the Knicks are 12-16 on the season. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. They've lost 4 in a row. They struggle winning at home. The Knicks are 5-10 at home, ladies and gentlemen. They're 7-6 on the road. So that gives you a little bit of, you can feel at least a little comfortable knowing that they have a winning record on the road and they're playing in Houston tonight. And Houston at home so far this season, well, the Rockets are actually 7-6 at home. They're 2-13 on the road. Something's got to give. Hopefully it's going to be the Rockets giving and the Knicks taking. We surely cannot afford to lose to the Houston Rockets tonight. If we lose to the Rockets tonight, I don't know if that means it's rock bottom yet, but it's getting close. It's getting close. Rock bottom to me would be if the New York Knicks lose to the Detroit Pistons in a couple of days. That's rock bottom. You have no place else to go but up if you lose to the Pistons. The Detroit Pistons right now they're on a 12-game losing streak, ladies and gentlemen. 12-game losing streak. And if the Knicks lose to the Pistons, if the Knicks lose to Houston, and then lose to Boston, and then lose to the Pistons at home, that would definitely be rock bottom. And you have no place else to go but up after that. And the only reason why I can bring this up is because the team is in such flux right now. They look so confused on the basketball court. They don't know whether they're going or coming. Shooting or passing. You know what I mean? Cutting or standing still. They don't know what they're doing right now. And Julius Randle was a big culprit because he looks confused. He's not sure what he's doing. He had 31 points previous game against the Golden State Warriors. We need him to duplicate that effort tonight. He's got to duplicate that effort tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You're checking out the Game Day pregame show for your most up-to-date sports content and betting odds. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to thegameday.com. And before you take any chances, you got to go to the Game Day. Look at their over and unders on the site. See what the teams you're planning on placing bets for or against. See what the Game Day is talking about. Make sure you check it out. The link is in the description of this video. You can also check out their YouTube channel where they have some great content on there as well, thegameday.com. Let's check out the team comparison between these two teams. And, it's probably closer than you would think, ladies and gentlemen. And I hate to say that. I think we all hate to say that because we know the Knicks came in with some expectations and the Rockets came in, just figuring to be a lottery team. But the New York Knicks on the season are averaging 105.5 points per game. And the Rockets are averaging 106.2 points per game. The Knicks, 45 rebounds. The Rockets, 44. The Knicks, 21.4 assists per game. The Rockets, 23 assists per game. The Knicks, 7 steals. The Rockets, 7.4 steals. The Knicks, 5.5 blocks. The Rockets, 5 blocks. Now, the Knicks take care of the ball a little bit better than the Rockets. 13 turnovers per game for the Knicks. Almost 17 for the Houston Rockets. They're a young team. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to turn the ball over, and the Knicks need to take advantage of that tonight. They've got to take advantage of that. They've got to convert off of turnovers. Score off of the Rockets' turnovers. The Knicks shoot 43.6% from the field. The Rockets shoot 44.6% from the field. The Knicks are at 36% from three, while the Rockets are shooting 34% from three. The Knicks 79% from the free throw line, and the Rockets 70% from the stripe. 49 points in the paint for the Rockets. The Knicks need to make sure they're guarding that paint, especially playing a team like the Rockets right now who may be very small. Very small. The Knicks have got to watch the backdoor cuts, the slices to the basket. They've got to watch it. And they got to be able to defend it. You don't want this team scoring a bunch of points in the paint and they don't even have a big man on the floor, a serious big man on the floor. The Knicks score 42 points in the paint. Houston Rockets, 14.5 second chance points. The Knicks, 14. The Rockets average 10.8, 10.9 fast break points per game. The New York Knicks average 11 fast break points per game. All right, these are your overall numbers, ladies and gentlemen, but let's take a look at the season series. Right now, the Knicks lead the season series. They won that game 106-99. We expected more. It was a tough game, right? Because of the way that they match up against the Knicks, it was a little bit tougher than I think most people expected it to be. The Knicks shot 42% from three, and they shot 43.9% from the three-point line. They had 25 assists. Only 37 rebounds for the Knicks. They let this young team, a young jumpy team, out-rebound them. We can't let that happen tonight, especially, over the last 5 games. You're going to see the numbers over the last 5 games. The Knicks have not been rebounding the ball well. They've got to get back to crashing those boards, ladies and gentlemen. 12 turnovers for the Knicks in the last game. 12 steals for the Knicks and 7 blocks. For the Houston Rockets, they shot 45.2% from the field and 25% from three. Only 21 assists for the Rockets. They had 22 turnovers. They had more turnovers than assists in the previous game versus the Knicks. I don't know if you can expect that same thing tonight. They average 16 on the season or whatever it is. They're going to get 22? I don't know. Whatever it is, the Knicks, I hope they create it. They try to force some turnovers, and they take advantage of the turnovers. Previous game, 5 steals for the Rockets, 8 blocks for the Rockets. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, they out-rebounded the Knicks 48-37. We just talked about it. 48 rebounds for the Houston Rockets. Now, I believe Christian Wood was playing, so he obviously helped their rebounding total. He's questionable for tonight. I'm not expecting him to be in the lineup. Maybe he will be. Who knows? But he's questionable for tonight. But the Knicks can't lose the rebounding battle to the Houston Rockets. It can't happen. They got to win that rebounding battle tonight. Now, in the last 5 games, ladies and gentlemen, and here you go. I mean, the Rockets look like the better team than the Knicks in the last 5 games, and they have been. Over the last 5 games, the Knicks are 1-4, averaging 100 points per game, shooting 40% from the field, 36% from 3, and only grabbing 43 rebounds. It's just not going to get it done. We need more than that, especially for a team that's not shooting well from the field. If you're shooting 40% from the field, you've got to be grabbing rebounds, ladies and gentlemen. And only 20.4 assists for the Knicks in the last 5 games. For the Rockets, the last 5 games, they're averaging 111 points, shooting 46% from the field, 35% from the three-point line. They're really not rebounding well either. Average about 41 rebounds a game, but they're averaging 25 assists. They're playing better basketball than the Knicks for the most part. The Rockets' offensive rating over the last 5 games is 114.4. Their defensive rating is 120.9. They're giving up points. This should be a night that the Knicks can score. Even though they're going to have a lot of guys out. You know, you really only have 2 rotation pieces out. So this is going to be a night that they can score. Should be a night that they can score. Let me say that. Should be. The Knicks' offensive rating over the last 5 games, 106.6. Not good. And the defensive rating is 114.5. Still not good. Still not good. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am definitely worried about this basketball game. Worried about this game, you know. I want to go back to the starting lineups for just a minute and talk about some of these matchups. Derrick Rose, in my opinion, should dominate the matchup with DJ Augustine. So I'm going to be looking for Derrick Rose to penetrate frequently, get to the cup, kick out, run that team in that starting unit. Run that team. And maybe this is going to end up being the starting unit for the season now that I don't want to say this, take Evan Fournier out and put RJ Barrett in at the shooting guard spot, and maybe that ends up being your starting unit for the season. We'll see. I think everybody feels more comfortable with Derrick Rose in this starting lineup. I'm feeling more comfortable with him there. Just manage the minutes. I still have aspirations of this team making the play-in, possibly the playoffs. I hope that they can go on a run. It's scary right now, I know, but I hope they can go on a run. Derrick Rose is going to be a key part of that run if they do. So if he's starting, you still got to keep his minutes kind of, you got to manage those minutes. Kemba's not going to be used, so. That's Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, maybe Miles McBride. We should see some of Miles McBride tonight. Evan Fournier, I'm expecting him to win his matchup over Armani Brooks. Well, I hope that he would, but you can't expect anything from Evan Fournier. Although he did have 19 points against the Rockets in the previous game. So maybe this is a night that Evan Fournier, gives us a little bit of production. 2 points for Evan in the last game. Two. I'm expecting Alec Burks to win his matchup with Garrison Matthews. Alec Burks is always going to be off and on. That's why he's a journeyman in the NBA. He's off and on. He plays good for a couple of games and gives you 18, 19 points. And then, he'll give you a game with 5 or 1 or 6. You know what I mean? That's why he's a journeyman. He's not consistent. I'm expecting him to have a bounce back game and have a good game tonight against Garrison Matthews. I think he wins that matchup. I think Alec Burks is going to play well tonight. I'm going to skip over Julius Randle for a second. You got Nerlens Noel and Daniel Tice. Right? Daniel Tice is not, he's not going to just score up and down and go crazy on you. That's not who he is. He is a tough guy that can rebound the basketball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Give you, bruise it up a little bit. But, he's not going to do that much. Those two guys should play to a standstill, in my opinion. Daniel Tice on the season is averaging 8.2 points per game and 4.9 rebounds per game. He's doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to be there for. And, he's averaging more points than Nerlens Noel. We just need Nerlens Noel to play defense, get some blocks, do some things like that. Now, let's talk about Julius Randle and Jayshawn Tate because, ladies and gentlemen, this is, that's the keys to the game. We'll get back to those keys to the game. But Julius Randle, Jayshawn Tate, this is the Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, you heard me. I said Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. I want you to check out Thrive Fantasy. Their link is in the description of this video. It's a daily fantasy app. You can play it on your computer. You can play it on your phone. Android or Apple, whichever is your choosing. Basically, you choose 10 out of 20 available players. Each player is assigned a fantasy value and an over and under. And you build your lineup, choosing 10 of those players. You can also play a game where you choose 5 players, right? And you enter into a game to win a share of the prize pool. It's really, really fun. It's a daily game. Make sure you go check it out. And by the way, if you use the code NBK, you will receive an instant match of your first deposit up to $100. An instant match. 100% match up to $100. So make sure you go check out Thrive Fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the link is in the description of this video. And I'm actually going to play a little bit of a game before we get out of here and let you help me out on some of my Thrive Fantasy picks. All right? But anyway, I'm expecting Julius Randle to win this matchup. Julius Randle's averaging 19.5 points per game, 9.9 rebounds, 5.2 assists. He's shooting 43% from the field and 34% from three. 77% from the free throw line. Jayshawn Tate, right now he's the leading scorer for the Houston Rockets since Christian Wood is out. He's averaging 12 points per game. Not just Christian Wood, but, the Rockets have a couple of guys, couple leading scorers, out the game. Right? But Jayshawn Tate, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 48.7% from the field, 31.1% from three, and 73% from the free throw line. And the reason why Jayshawn Tate is up there, ladies and gentlemen, is because the Houston Rockets got a bunch of guys out too. Christian Wood, questionable. Kevin Porter Jr., out. Jalen Green, out. All of these guys are out. So, yeah. There's right now, he's part of the key matchup of the night. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. Julius Randle and Jayshawn Tate. I'm expecting Julius Randle to win that matchup. He had 31 points against the Golden State Warriors. I'm hoping that this is going to get Julius Randle going. He needs something to get going, no doubt about it. He needs something to get going. Something. Keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, do not underestimate the Houston Rockets. Again, the Houston Rockets, they've won 7 of their last 10 games. Right? To me, they just present a matchup, a difficult matchup because they play small and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's a difficult matchup. for the New York Knicks. I don't like playing against teams like this. Right? And I'm going to skip over one. And one of the reasons why is because they're young and they play with energy. They play with a lot of energy. And everyone who talks about our second unit playing better than the first unit, the big thing is because they have energy. They play with a lot of energy. Well, our first unit is now going against the second unit that's going to play with, our first unit is now going versus the Houston Rockets, who they're going to play with a lot of energy. We've got to match it. They're jumpy, they're quick. They're going to get to loose balls. We've got to match their energy. We've got to play with the same intensity that they're going to come into the game with. That being said, we've got to get off to a good start. We've had some trouble with it. We got off to a decent start against Golden State. Okay, there was a lot of energy in the building because of Steph Curry and his chance to break the all-time three-point shooting record, which he did. So there was a lot of energy in the building. And I think the Knicks kind of fed off that energy, and the game was tied after one. Throughout the game, the Knicks actually built an 8-point lead. They couldn't hold it, but they built an 8-point lead. They played okay basketball. They didn't score a lot of points, but they played okay basketball. The energy was there. We've got to match the energy of this team and get off to a good start. All right? It's important. Our players got to be ready to step up. Got to be ready to step up. You see what the starting five is looking like. But Emmanuel Quickley is going to be on the bench. Miles McBride is going to be on the bench. Mitchell Robinson is going to be on the bench. These guys got to step up. We're going to be small coming off the bench. Very small. You might see some guys that, you might see Wayne Selden. We joked about that the other day, but we might see Wayne Selden out there. We got to put somebody out there on the floor. I don't know, Tom Thibodeau may just stick with a 8-man rotation. Maybe Taj Gibson gets some burn. He can play some power forward out there as well. Since Kevin Knox is not available, Taj Gibson can play some power forward. You're still going to be small. You got Miles. You got Emmanuel Quickley. They're both, between 6'2" and 6'4". So you be kind of small at the point guard and shooting guard spot. But you can go with Taj and Mitch. So you can still rock with a 9-man rotation. Maybe Jericho Sims gets some burn out there tonight. I don't know. We'll see how Tom Thibodeau decides to use the bench. That's going to be interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Now, I want to see more of Miles McBride, though. Miles McBride had a very good showing in the previous game versus the Golden State Warriors. I think he had 8 points on the night, shot well from the three-point line. You like his little pull-up. He's got long arms. He can use those long arms defensively. So we're getting a chance to see what Miles McBride can do. And it also tells you, the fact that Miles McBride played against Golden State when the Knicks were down and Kemba Walker did not, it lets you know Kemba Walker is probably on the way out through trade. And and tonight, with more players out, if Kemba Walker don't get off the pine, I think it's pretty much set in stone. The writing is on the wall. And it's in hot pink letters. You know what I mean? So you're going to know that if Kemba Walker doesn't get off the pine tonight. And I do not expect him to get off the pine. It begs me to wonder, and probably you to wonder, is there a trade already in place for Kemba Walker somewhere along the line? And they've got to work out the kinks or whatever have you. But, maybe it's already there. And that's the reason why he's not playing even in games where the Knicks need scoring or they need support. He chose to play Miles McBride 20 minutes. Tom Thibodeau did over Kemba Walker. And I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying. he chose a rookie to play over Kemba, a guy that you signed and ballyhooed all throughout the offseason. Yeah, I think that kind of, that's the writing on the wall for Kemba right there, ladies and gentlemen. I think it is. We will see. Anyway, let's get to a phone call or two. And then I'm going to get up out of here. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Abdul.
What's going on, Abdul?
From California.
How you doing, brother? How you feeling?
Good. I'm just I'm placing some bets with my friends for tonight's game.
Okay.
The Knicks and the Rockets. I'm not too much into basketball. I'm trying to get into the betting stuff, and
Okay.
So I'm just trying to see who's gonna win. I did some research, and I know the Rockets lost a couple of games. And then
Well, I tell you, I think the Knicks are gonna win tonight. I think the Knicks are gonna win. The Knicks are desperate. I think they're gonna win tonight. If it were me, I'd take my chances on the Knicks.
Yeah, because they haven't won in a while. So I mean, they're gonna come back hard, right?
The Knicks are on a 4-game losing streak. So hopefully they're looking at this as some light at the end of the tunnel. But you got to make that decision yourself, though, man. I don't want you coming back to me and say, "Hey, I put my money on the Knicks and I lost." So you got to make that decision yourself, bro.
Okay. Thank you very much for answering.
No doubt. I appreciate you. Let me get to another call here.
Okay.
Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you from, please.
Name is Tiz, and I'm from VA.
Hey, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
What's good, family? How you?
I'm good. What's your take tonight on the game, man?
Well, personally, me, I'm really hoping to see Deuce get some burn.
Yeah.
You feel me? I need to see Deuce get some burn. I think the young dudes, I'm really feeling the young dudes. I've been listening to your show for a little while. I'm an advocate for Knox. There's no way Knox can't get no burn. I really think he do more than Evan Fournier. I think his shooting is way better than Fournier's right now, if you ask me.
There's no doubt about that. He's doing a whole lot more than Evan Fournier, and he knows what he wants to do. He's decisive about it. Evan Fournier is, he's not sure what he wants to do on the floor. He's out there, he don't know what he wants to do. He don't know what's expected from him. Kevin Knox seems to know exactly what he wants to do and what's expected from him, and that's what you need to play the game.
And me personally, I watched all of the preseasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from listening to the show, I hear that you're a coach. So with that being said, I watched the game. The boy Deuce played D. What do the Knicks need right now? Defense. I mean, if you go to the bathroom, that boy following you. You hear me? He everywhere. There's no way, like you said, if you do what you're supposed to do, the coach is supposed to find some way to give you some type of burn. He needs some type of burn.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He needs some burn. I mean, I think he's going to get it tonight. You know what I mean? He has no choice but to get it tonight. He played well in the previous game. There's, a ton of not injuries, but, guys out due to health and safety protocol. So he has no choice but to play tonight. Tibbs got to get him out there tonight. And I think he will. And I'm hoping that.
Not to cut you off. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He got to get some burn. And it may be like, what is it, a gift and a curse. I don't wish no bad ill on nobody as far as the COVID-19 thing go, but maybe it is a way forcing Tibbs because he's stubborn. Maybe this is what was needed to force his hand to see. And now maybe not the backlash or maybe the outcry of the people saying, play these young people. You did darn good in drafting. Because if you look at it, these boys look like some jewels, but they got to get burned. We don't know that if they don't get no burn. Evan Fournier is not producing. I'm not saying, I know the contract is big. You want to get something for your money, but we got to see something else. If he getting 20 minutes or whatever, we got to get into that and see something different.
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm with you 100%. No doubt about it. I'm with you. I hope to see Deuce play, and I think if he does, he's going to perform tonight. And it's a perfect time. The Rockets are a young team with a bunch of young players out there on the floor. You know, you got to put them out there to play. Got to put them out there.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate the call. I appreciate you taking my call. And like I said, I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing and go Knicks.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the call, man. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I expect to see Deuce out there playing some significant minutes tonight, 20 minutes or more. Call you live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Yeah, how you doing, Sim? It's Naya from Brooklyn.
What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Feeling all right. You think Tibbs is the right coach for this team?
Oh, man. You know, it's just hard to say because, you know, I don't know if he has the players that he wants. Right, we were having this discussion the other day, kind of behind the scenes. You know, did the front office give him the players that he wants? I feel like if you're the GM or the president and you hire a coach, to give that coach the best chance, you should give them the players that they request, or at least try to give them the players that they request. Did he request Kemba? I don't know. We know he wanted Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock didn't come back. They brought back Alec Burks, and I think he likes Alec Burks too for certain things. So it's hard to say because I don't know if they gave him the roster that he wants. You know what I'm saying? And then on the other hand, I think that there's some things he could do better as well.
I mean, you're a coach, and then if you don't get the players that you want, but then you drafted these players, and when they do get time on the floor, you see how good they are. How can you ignore that? How can you put Fournier on the floor when he's just running around not doing anything?
I get it. I get it. You know, and hopefully he's going to come to a point where he recognizes that, you know, Fournier's not giving him anything. I think, you know, I do think he's giving him the benefit of doubt because he's a veteran and he's been in the league. I think he's giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I think there's going to come a point where he just realizes this ain't working. There has to come a point.
It hurts watching this guy play. He makes these motions like he's going to – he doesn't do anything. He just stands where he is. He just walks. Everybody's leaving him. He can't guard anybody. He's horrible. Yeah.
I mean, right now he's playing terrible basketball for us, and I'm not sure if I see it even getting better. But he's playing terrible. I'm through with Evan Fournier. You know what I'm saying? He seems like a nice dude and all of that. I just don't think he's fitting with what we built. I don't feel like he's fitting that.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to go to a team that can fit his style of play. And I don't think Tom Thibodeau knows how to use his style of play either. So I just don't think it's a good fit. It's just not a good fit.
I mean, I like the last game with Steph. I like Hal McBride. I like watching this young guy play. Man, he hustles. He gets rebounds. He plays so hard. And then you put Fournier in the game and he just waltz around the court.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I feel you. Hey, Nye, I appreciate your call, man. Thank you for your time.
No doubt, man.
Appreciate you.
No doubt, Sam.
Yeah, I know, ladies and gentlemen. I know how you feel. Trust me. I'm feeling it with you. Now, I want you to take a look. This is the Thrive Fantasy website, ladies and gentlemen, and you can also get this on your phone. And right now, I am going to play the $5 NBA Thursday layup. All right, so what I want to ask you, you can see, you know, $5. That's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not, you know, I'm not going crazy. But you can bet anywhere from $2 to $5,000 if you want to take your chances. You know, but you have 3 hours to take your chances here. Got 3 hours to get it in, and you can look down the lineups and see who's out there. And of course, you got the, you know, you got the you can see the total fantasy points, and then you can see the over and under here. And you know what I'm going to do? Let me see. I'm going to ride with my man Julius Randle. Right? His total fantasy points here for the night are 36.5. I'm going to take over on 105 points. I'm going to take that. Okay, I'm going to take that. Next, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant, and I'm choosing 5 players. You know, I'm looking in the chat. I want to see what you guys who you guys are telling me to choose. You know what I mean? So I'm taking Julius Randle because that's our boy. So I'm going to do that. You know, you see out here, there's Cade Cunningham, Miles Turner, Malcolm Brogdon, Blake Griffin, Kevin Durant. Probably going to take Kevin Durant. Brooklyn, they're playing Philadelphia tonight. 115 points. I think I'm going to take over 85 on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one in. I'm going to take over 85 on that one. That might be a bruiser. And I don't know what kind of health and safety protocol things are going on with the Brooklyn Nets. Let me see. Who else we got out here? I think I'm gonna go with Malcolm Brogdon, 4.5 total assists. You know, I'm gonna take over 80 points and go with that. I got 2 more picks to make out here. Cade versus the Pacers, 17.5. Take over 95. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that one. I don't know if I want to go with that one. Tobias Harris, 21 total fantasy points. That's a tough one. I think I'll take him and go over 100. And I got one more. DeAndre Ayton, Washington. I'm going to take this over 100. And I'm going to make my submission. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It says I'm denied because I'm in an illegal state. Isn't that something? Anyway, this is how you play the game. It is what it is. Thrive Fantasy. Make sure you check it out. Okay, make sure you go check that out. It's fun. I was going to try to show you exactly what happens at the end of the game and all of that, but at the end of the night, see where I was at. But I can't. But anyway, well, maybe I'll do it anyway. You know, but that's Thrive Fantasy. Make sure you check out the link in the description of the video. All right, check out the link in the description of the video. Learn a little bit more about thrivefantasy.com. And of course, this whole thing is the Game Day pregame show. This is the Game Day pregame show. So, you know, for all your up-to-date sports content, make sure you go check out thegameday.com. And all of your betting odds, you can check it out on thegameday.com. I got the Knicks winning tonight, though. I do. I got the Knicks winning tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I think they're going to beat the Rockets. I think the Knicks are desperate right now. And they are struggling just a little bit. Well, not struggling a little bit. They're struggling, but I think they're desperate. And they see this as the win that they can get. I think they see this as the win that they can get. So they need to go out and get it. It's going to be tough. They got to be ready to play. They can't underestimate the Houston Rockets. You know, they're going to have to settle in on maybe they can't even really play small ball because Obi's not there. Kevin Knox ain't there. Don't be surprised if you see some lineups tonight where Julius Randle is 6'8" at the center spot and they're playing very small with Rose and Quickly, you know, and maybe even Alec Burks on the floor. You know, don't be surprised if you see some small lineups like that because Houston are going to be playing some very small lineups. But I got the Knicks winning tonight. Snapping that 4-game losing streak. Seeing if maybe we can get back on the winning track. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I got to be at a basketball practice in 30 minutes. So I'm getting to basketball practice. Don't forget to check out thegameday.com. This has been the Game Day pregame show, so make sure you check them out. The link is in the description of this video. I'm out of here. Be peaceful. Please make sure you check me out on the postgame show about 10 minutes after the game. About 10 minutes after the game. All right. We out of here. Be peaceful. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen.
This is NBK. Nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Nick.